The 17 News at Sunrise podcast is brought to you by Clinica Sierra Vista.
Welcome back to the 17 News at Sunrise podcast, where we share your news on your schedule.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
Good morning here at 5 a.m. Good to have you with us. I'm Maddie Jansen alongside Alex Fisher on a finally Friday.
It is Friday and the cool down continues. It has been so pleasant, at least in the temperature department. What's not so pleasant, those skies, especially yesterday. I mean, we really saw it. As a matter of fact, last night I was driving home and could see the street lights on, and you could really see the haze and the smoke. Almost looked like, you know how during the winter months, how when we have that fog, and then you can kind of see it almost looked foggy in the evening hour.
And we begin with the French fire continuing to burn out of control west of Lake Isabella. Here are your 5 a.m. headlines. The French fire has grown to more than 3,200 acres, and it's now 5% contained. An evacuation order was added yesterday evening for Keysville South from the intersection of Black Gulch Road and Forest Route 26S06 East to Highway 155. Several homes have been reduced to ash, but it's not known just how many have been destroyed.
17's Moses Small spent yesterday in the community of Sawmill, where some residents no longer have a home to return to. He filed this report.
It's an unsettling scene here in the Isabella Highlands after the French fire scorched hundreds of acres, leaving many homes like this one behind me reduced to ash. Meanwhile, fire crews still hard at work through the night on the ground and in the air, trying desperately to hold back these flames. Towering smoke and smoldering homes. The French fire erupted in the area of Sawmill and Waggy Flat Roads at about 4:30 Wednesday afternoon, forcing Sawmill residents to evacuate. Crews still battling the flames. As the fire ravages over 3,200 acres, Gary Cook had just minutes to gather everything he and his wife could carry and run for his life.
Thank you, God. That's all I can say is thank you, God. From what I understand, our house got saved, but the fire stopped just the next street from us. A lot of people we know lost their homes up there and everything.
The couple scrambled away with their 3 kittens.
I left 4 cats behind also that I couldn't get, and I'm worried sick about them. I left plenty of food, plenty of water, so hopefully they made it through it.
17 News visited their home, and the cats are okay. Cook and his wife staying at a temporary evacuation center organized by the Red Cross at the Kern River Valley Senior Center in the nearby town of Lake Isabella.
We'll be here for anyone that needs us. If they just need to come to get a cold water while they're waiting for information about their home, or if they need to come and relax here, or just take a nap in our shelter, we're here.
First responders announced evacuation warnings near Wofford Heights from Rancho Road east to Wofford Boulevard and between Highway 55 south to Old State Roads.
Everybody you run into here is, what can I do for you? What do you need? We're all family.
No word yet on how this fire started or when local residents can return home. And for many, like the owner of this home, that's no longer possible after the devastation of the French fire. In the Isabella Highlands, Moses Small, 17 News.
And here's a new map showing the evacuations due to the French fire, tweeted out by the Kern County Fire Department yesterday evening. The bright red shows the fire perimeter, the light red shows evacuation orders, and the yellow shows an evacuation warning.
Just a reminder, one of the easiest ways to be prepared for potential wildfires and other disasters like earthquakes is to sign up for alerts from Kern County Emergency Services. Just go to readykern.com. There you can look up recent incidents and sign up to receive text alerts directly to your phone.
This marks the largest wildfire in Kern County so far this year. The most recent fire before this was the Peak Fire that burned in the Paiute Mountains east of Bakersfield and north of Tehachapi. That fire grew to more than 2,000 acres and was fully contained back on August 11th. And at this time last year, the Stagecoach Fire was burning. That wildfire burned nearly 8,000 acres south of Lake Isabella near the community of Havilah. The cause of both of those major fires remains under investigation. And we probably don't need to tell you the French fire is contributing to smoking conditions here in the valley. Combined with the larger wildfires burning up north, the skies continue to be filled with particulate matter, triggering a public health alert. The Valley Air Pollution Control District issued the warning Monday, saying it will be in place until the smoke clears. People, especially those with respiratory conditions, are urged to stay indoors to reduce exposure to particulate matter emissions.
Now to some breaking news from overnight. A motorcyclist was killed in a crash near Lamont. According to CHP, the crash happened just after 8:45 last night at Weed Patch Highway and Bear Mountain Boulevard. The cause of the crash has not yet been revealed, and it's not yet known whether anyone else was hurt. The investigation is still ongoing.
5:07 is your time now, and turning to the crisis in Afghanistan and the chaos as thousands try to flee the country amid the increasingly brutal attacks by Taliban forces. Thousands of Afghans were evacuated overnight from the Kabul airport, but to even get to the airport, they had to navigate through Taliban fighters who control the airport perimeter and whose idea of crowd control is using whips and guns.
Outside the airport, the people don't let me go in.
Did you see the Taliban beating people?
The people beating and they're shooting, like they run behind you with the AK-47 and they pong, 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 pong.
What do you think about what is happening right now to your country, to you?
Yeah, our country is right now is finished. No more Afghanistan.
Some of those fleeing are Afghan Americans. Others are seeking asylum. U.S. officials said up to 15,000 Americans remain in the region after the Taliban took control of the country.
A prayer vigil was held in downtown Bakersfield last night for those suffering in Afghanistan. A small group came together at the Liberty Bell, hoping the power of prayer will help those still stranded in the region.
As I was praying about what can we do, I felt like the Lord said, pray. And so, I mean, you know, we always sometimes go, well, I'll just pray for you. That's it's the least thing we can do. Really, it's the most important thing we can do. So when we come together, we can pray, and there's power in prayer.
Organizers are hoping to hold similar prayer events in the future.
A local defense attorney who spent more than 30 years in Kern County courtrooms is being remembered this morning. Michael Lewhart passed away Tuesday following a 2-year battle with cancer, according to his wife Alexis. He was 67. Lewhart retired in 2017 after decades in the courtroom. Colleagues say he was relentless in his pursuit of justice and had a remarkable track record. Funeral arrangements for Michael Lewhart are pending, and you can read more about his long career on our website, kget.com.
5:33 is our time now, with new infections and hospitalizations rising across the country, fueled by the highly contagious Delta variant. The White House is adding to its arsenal of weapons against COVID-19. A cornerstone of the new initiatives is a booster shot for nearly 170 million fully vaccinated Americans. But the plan is getting some pushback this morning. Jay Gray has details.
Alex, good morning. Congress is on summer break right now, but no vacation for 3 senators, all fully vaccinated, who've announced they tested positive for COVID-19. Now, the booster should help to stop some of those breakthrough cases as well as slow the spread of the virus, but it comes with a dose of controversy. Overwhelmed hospital wards now spilling over into field units as the Delta virus continues to surge across the country.
We're actually really quite concerned, and the curves seem to be continuing to go up, and we don't think we've seen the peak of this yet.
President Biden announcing new initiatives in the fight against the virus. All nursing home employees will now be required to get the vaccine. The administration is promising to challenge governors blocking mask mandates in schools and urging Americans to get a newly approved booster shot.
It will make you safer and for longer, and it will help us end the pandemic faster.
But the World Health Organization strongly opposes a third dose for all adults, concerned about the supply of medicine for underdeveloped nations and the possibility a booster could lead to new, stronger variants.
We're planning to hand out extra life jackets to people who already have life jackets, while we're leaving other people to drown without a single life jacket.
I do not accept the idea that we have to choose between America and the world. We clearly see our responsibility to both.
The administration says it's already donated 100 million doses overseas and plans to fulfill a promise of 500 million more. Anyone who's had the full course of either the Moderna or Pfizer vaccines will be eligible for a booster. Those shots officially roll out September 20th. In Washington, Jay Gray, 17 News.
Meantime, if you're hoping to visit San Francisco soon, you'll need proof of vaccination to do just about anything. Starting today, the city of San Francisco will become the first major U.S. city to require proof of vaccination for many indoor businesses and large events. This new mandate only applies for those currently eligible for the vaccine. So kids under 12 will still be able to go inside a restaurant. The mayor says this is an effort to combat a new surge in cases driven by the Delta variant.
Here at home, Kern Public Health announced another 483 people have tested positive for COVID-19 and 2 more people died. Since the beginning of the pandemic, we have lost 1,443 lives to the virus. By our count, at least 74 of those deaths were people who lost their life after vaccines became available to everyone. Meantime, our hospitals are filling up again. 210 people are in the hospital with more severe symptoms of COVID-19, 42 in local ICUs. Our hospitals have not been this full since late February. And Kern Medical is offering a free COVID-19 vaccine clinic for everyone ages 12 and up. It's happening today from 1 to 5 p.m. at the Kern High School District Office on Sundale Avenue. Walk-ins are available, but pre-registering is encouraged to speed up the process. Just head to kget.com and click the hot link icon to register.
Meantime, one local business is continuing to ensure we do not forget those we've lost to this virus. American Fabrication on Gilmore Avenue in Rosedale is preparing to unveil an additional 200 names to its COVID-19 memorial. That's happening tomorrow. The memorial currently has 320 names of men and women who lost their lives to COVID-19. The business says they are still asking for submissions. If you'd like the name of your lost loved one to be added to the memorial, you can email Michelle Bettis at mjlbettis@gmail.com.
In your 17 Court Watch, a woman who pled insanity after facing charges of killing her own baby is in court today. Elvira Farias is accused of assaulting and killing her baby in 2015. The baby's body was found wrapped in a towel near a Shafter Medical Center with many wounds. A judge previously found her incompetent to stand trial, but a Kern County judge brought back the charges. Her defense attorneys want another evaluation of her mental health. Farias is scheduled for a readiness hearing at 8:30 this morning.
Charges were dropped yesterday against a former sheriff's lieutenant accused of making harassing phone calls. Enrique Bravo faced 2 misdemeanor charges of making annoying telephone calls. The alleged victims, a woman who previously investigated him, and the wife of a sergeant. The district attorney's office says the charges against Bravo were dropped after they spoke with the 2 women who did not seek further prosecution of this case.
5:38 your time now, and from our 17 News follow-up file, the city manager of McFarland is being replaced after just a year in the role. 17 News has learned the city council voted to replace Maria Lara, but no one will say why, only that it's a personnel issue. Lara will return to her previous position as director of community development. For the time being, Police Chief Kenny Williams will serve as acting administrator.
Also from our follow-up file this morning, apparent progress on the state's high-speed rail. Yesterday, the California High-Speed Rail Authority Board approved the final environmental impact report for the 80-mile section of rail between the Central Valley and the Antelope Valley. The action now paves the way for full California Environmental Quality Act clearance of nearly 300 miles of track.
Looking ahead now to the 20th anniversary of September 11th, as local first responders invite the community to honor and remember those who paid the ultimate sacrifice. Bakersfield Fire Department and the Bakersfield Police Department are hosting a memorial ceremony. It will happen that day, September 11th. It will be split into 2 events, with the first beginning at 9:30 a.m. at BFD's Station 15 on Buena Vista Road. Later that night, Portrait of a Warrior Gallery will be memorializing the 27 Kern County residents who were called to duty during the attacks. The evening ceremony begins at 7 p.m. Meantime, a local church needs your help to stay open. Blessing Corner Ministries, known for its generous food giveaways and community outreach, has been at the First Street and Union Avenue location since 2005. But they only have enough money to stay in business until the end of August. That's why KGET is teaming up with Blessing Corner to host a barbecue fundraiser. It's happening next Wednesday at the Blessing Corner from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. We hope you'll join us.
Today, we're expecting an update on West Nile virus activity from the Kern Mosquito and Vector Control District. This in recognition of World Mosquito Day. The district says it will give an update on the infamous Aedes aegypti mosquito. It's also known as ankle biters, as well as what residents can expect the rest of this year. Officials say Kern is at the peak of mosquito season and West Nile virus activity, which typically lasts until mid-October.
Today, Grimway employees will get the chance to donate blood and drive away a hero. Grimway Farms is partnering with Houchin Blood Bank to host a mobile blood drive for employees. The catch? A chance to win a free car. It's happening 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Grimway's Arvin location on Malaga Road. For more information, call 854-6211.
Today, you can get a new furry friend for free. Kern County Animal Services is offering free pet adoptions today and tomorrow. If you can't adopt a pet, you can foster one in need. The shelter on Fruitvale Avenue will be open from 10 a.m. till 4 p.m. and you can find more information at kerncountyanimalservices.org.
Welcome back here at 5:20. Washington held its breath for several hours yesterday as the U.S. Capitol complex came under threat again, this time allegedly by a North Carolina man. NBC's Pete Williams reports.
Nearly 5 hours after he parked his pickup and claimed to have explosives, a 49-year-old man from North Carolina gave up and followed instructions to crawl away, ending a tense standoff.
He got out of the vehicle and surrendered, and the tactical units that were close by took him into custody without incident.
Capitol Police say it all began a little after 9 a.m. when the man, Floyd Ray Roseberry, parked his black pickup on the sidewalk of the Library of Congress, called 911, and said he had a bomb. That's about a block from the U.S. Capitol. Nearby buildings were evacuated, including the Supreme Court and a House of Representatives office building. Police and federal agents swarmed in, including the FBI and ATF, and streets were shut down several blocks away. A massive response, and the city still on high alert after the Capitol riot and social media threats of further violence. At first, police say Roseberry communicated with them by writing notes on a dry erase board saying, "Don't shoot me," at one point, and asking for his preacher. And as it began, he was actually sending a live feed from inside the truck to his Facebook page.
All right, guys. Looks to me like I'm getting ready to make a phone call.
He then made a long series of anti-government statements. A short time later, Facebook cut off the feed and took down his page, but while it was still active, he showed glimpses of what looked like it could be a bomb and said he had potential explosive material in a toolbox in the bed of the pickup. Investigators reached out to his family members and searched his North Carolina home, looking for clues of what he might be up to. Police sent a robot carrying a phone so they could negotiate with him, but they say he never used it and simply gave up.
After carefully going through the pickup, police and federal agents say Roseberry never had a viable bomb. He now faces a raft of federal charges.
Welcome back. We are less than 24 hours away from the kickoff of the 2021 high school football season. And with the return of the Friday Night Lights comes the return of Friday Football Extra. Every Friday night, you can catch all the headlines and highlights with 17 Sports Director Taylor Schaub. It's always fun to watch because, well, Taylor has a lot of energy. FFX kicks off tonight at 11:11 right here on TV 17. Yeah, I've been watching Taylor get ready for Friday Football Extra. Here's the interesting thing, though. We've got high school football kicking off tonight. They're going to be dealing with that smoke.
And we're back here at 5:51. 17 News is your local election headquarters. Candidates hoping to replace Governor Gavin Newsom were back on the debate stage last night, this time in San Francisco. 17's Ashley Zavala has more.
These Republican candidates weighed in on issues they've been discussing on the campaign trail like COVID-19, wildfires, homelessness, and housing. But in this debate, these candidates were asked questions such as would they use state funds for a border wall and would they vote for Donald Trump should he run again in 2024. Businessman John Cox, former San Diego Mayor Kevin Faulconer, and Assemblyman Kevin Kiley debating each other for a third time Thursday night. But for the first time as candidates, the three Republicans weighed in on whether they would vote for President Donald Trump should he run again in 2024.
I would vote for President Trump over Joe Biden any day of the week.
I don't know who the nominee is going to be, and I'll make that decision at the time.
But I stay out of national politics.
Trump's administration began construction on a wall on the U.S.-Mexico border, which is halted now under President Joe Biden. The three were asked if they would use state funds to seal off California, but candidates pointed to it being a federal responsibility.
I'd certainly do whatever I could within the constraints of state power to assist with the border situation and secure the border because it's become untenable.
Our latest Inside California Politics poll shows one of the state's largest voting demographics, Latinos, have the appetite to recall Governor Gavin Newsom, with 54% saying they would vote to remove him from office. Candidates agreed Thursday night to help Latino families. They would make California more business-friendly and education more accessible.
Too many Latino parents were faced with that horrible decision. And Gavin Newsom shut down our schools. I have to go to work, or am I going to be at home to watch my kids? And I think that's why you're seeing the anger, the frustration.
I started at the bottom, and I got a good education. And then I got the opportunity to start my own business. That's what the Latino families need in California, and every family needs that in California.
Governor Newsom, who declined to debate tonight but talked to me Thursday afternoon, weighing in on the Latino vote. Are you concerned that Latinos might not show up for you at the polls?
Well, I'm very proud of the work we've done to have the backs of the Latino community. I'm very proud of the fact we're the most diverse state in the world's most diverse democracy, and I'll put up my record as a strong advocate for the Latino community up against any governor in America.
The three candidates we saw in this debate will also debate again next Wednesday, along with Democratic candidate Kevin Paffrath. In San Francisco, Ashley Zavala, 17 News.
The Kern County Elections Office says it needs poll workers for the recall election. Workers would staff polling places across the county on September 14th. That's Election Day. You must be a registered voter, attend a training session, and be available to work anytime between the hours of 6 a.m. and 10 p.m. They are also looking for volunteers who are bilingual. For more information, visit kernvote.com.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
The 17 News at Sunrise podcast is a production of KGET and Nexstar Media Group. For more on all of the headlines in today's show, head to kget.com.